Hello, I'm back with another video from Laerad's TerraFirmaCraft server. I haven't played on here in a while, but I have progressed a fair bit since the last video. I've cleared all of this land for my new orchard, and I have found a banana sapling. So there's my early stage banana tree. Lemon trees are in flower, in bloom, lovely. Fruit is good. And I've got some orange trees over here. So I just axed some branches off my initial thing there. I'll probably move them all over at one point, but I don't want to lose these ones. In fact, I probably won't move them because it's not really necessary. Dug this big pit for making coal, charcoal even. And I needed a lot of coal because of this thing. My forge. 2 more forges now, actually. And I needed to make a lot of iron because now got a blast furnace, which is expensive and time consuming to make, but well worth it if you want steel. And steel is kind of end game. I think Biox in the TerraFirmaCraft channel on Espedonite, he said he considers steel to be end game. And red and blue steel, and black steel and so on. I think black steel is just used to make red and blue steel, or it's a tier of its own right, I'm not sure, but yeah, once you get steel, you're kind of done then. But red and blue steel, if you want to put the work in, is literally just cosmetic. I don't think it offers any other benefits, so yeah, you know, you had to do a lot of iron welding and hammering to get to that level. Sort of got some more trees. I think my last exploration I found spruce. I think I already had pine. I found spruce. Let's see, oak. I found oak, classic oak, white cedar, and maple. Already had hickory. Oh, and aspen. So that's quite nice. Lots of different wood now for. Probably going to make some wooden checkered floors. I might make a new base as well. Oh, better milk the cows, even though it's like nighttime. I've also started making a custom mod pack of my own. You might have seen my other mod videos. Yeah, move away. And I've never made my own mod pack before, basically. Oh, did that milk just... I thought that milk just vanished on me. Baby cow! 2 baby cows! Very cute. Now then. Better feed them. I need a knife to stop that decay. So let's just... Oh, crikey. We'll just use the one that has the most decay. Apparently, like, it says it's pregnant, and so she won't eat. I mean, how does that make sense? I don't know. I'll put that back in. I just can't be bothered to get a knife right now to sort out. No, see? Look, steel. Woo! And a lot of wood. And markings, which are like for blueprints. No, looks like Peg's trying to salvage a balked ISO. Yep. So there's not much else to show you. Basalt bricks there. Basalt? Basalt? Not sure. Oh, I tried some sculpture over here. A bit of chiseling. Just sort of did that off the top of my head. Kind of like a key. Oh, and I'm brining. My green boughs are all for brine. So I'm using those to brine and then pickle. Pickle food. So if I go back into my home, my shelter, I've got some vinegar over here, and you can see I've got some pickled onion, 0.1%, 100 grams. Nice, 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 nice. Another onion here. So they're decaying very slowly indeed. That's pretty much it, I think. And then I've got food in here. Not much food, I think, but it's spring now, so... I got loads of food in here, but whoa. A lot of decay on these potatoes. So much so that I don't think I can even be bothered to... Let's have a look at the farm. The mushroom creeper's real, but I don't want to put that time in. Oh, if only I had known that it was going to spread like this. There we go. Oh, and it's late spring. I planted, I think, oops, in early spring. Cranberry bushes are still mystifying me. And I've already got a ton of crops. And that's why I couldn't be bothered to trim that decay. Look at that! Oh, beautiful. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? This is definitely one aspect of vanilla Minecraft that I think could be easily solved. More crops is just glorious. It makes me think of Pam's Harvest Craft and no doubt some other mods. And I got tomatoes now, thanks to Blue, who's also playing on this server. I'm gonna harvest all that later, I think. It's not gonna go away. I don't really need the food that much. Harvesting and then like brining and pickling and preserving and putting into vessels and storing the vessels, it all takes quite a lot of time. It's quite time intensive, but obviously necessary. Although I'm really sort of okay for food at the moment, he says. Kind of hungry, so I better go back and get some food. But yeah, that's my farm. Looking good. In fact, let's get some higher ground. There we go. Oh, nice rows of crops. So I put all my grains over there and the flax, and then like veg over here, and more veg, sugarcane, and soybeans over here. It's looking good. And then soon, hopefully, I will have like after some more travelling, I'll have like an orchard full of fruit trees here. There's like 7 or 8 different kinds of fruit tree. Orange, lemon, banana, peaches, apples, cherries, and something else that I can't think of. So, lovely stuff. And then I got loads of water here. Oh, and I got alcohol. Or no, more vinegar. There was alcohol. Oh, and I've got some nice fat onion there being preserved. And another one. And another one. I've only been pickling onions so far because pickled onions are actually a thing. I've never tried pickled anything else. Pickled potato just doesn't sound nice at all. But hey, if you're starving and you need to preserve food, well, you need to eat food, but if you're low on food, preserving it's a good thing. No fridges in TerraFirmaCraft. Oh yes, and I've got some more wood over here, and I've moved my stack of wood to make way for the blast furnace, and I've put some of it over here. So all the different kinds with a pile for each one. I quite like the aspen texture. It's kind of like birch, but not quite. And then willow is a nice green. Pine's quite dark. Spruce is like dappled dark, light and dark brown. Maple's kind of boring. Speaking of maple, if the devs want to put in maple syrup, that would be awesome. Love me some maple syrup. Alright, well, I haven't really got much else to show you. Possibly might make some more iron for making more steel. And then I can upgrade my tools. I got to show you like my mines, and done quite a bit of prospecting, and I found like pretty much all the ores I need for red and blue steel, so I might well do that. If we look in here, I've got my miscellaneous stuff here. I've got quite a lot of sphalerite, which is a zinc bearing ore. Some gems. I don't think the gems are worth anything, like useful for anything in TFC, which kind of sucks. I think they might be useful for a mob thingy. Can't remember. Got some gold, which was right in Blue's base. He ended up setting it up right next to gold. Kaolinite and graphite for fire clay and whatnot. And then malachite and cassiterite. I mined way too much cassiterite for bronze. That's tin. Didn't need that at all. And looks like I'm all out of iron. So I think next episode I'll be hitting my iron mine, and we'll make us some steel. And I need to dump all of this wood in my inventory as well. Probably time for more charcoal. I don't think I've got much charcoal stored now. 24, 20. Oh, that's like 70. Oh, no, I've got loads of charcoal. And you can see here I've got some flux, raw iron bloom, 840 units. I think it's rich malachite, it might be normal malachite. No, it's rich. And then a refined one, so I can hammer that into an ingot. Oh, no, I've got... That's right. I did mine a bunch more magnetite, so it's here, next to the forge, ready to be. You can see I built 2 extra forges there. I forgot to explain why, because you have to do so much welding and hammering and making sheets and double sheets to make the blast furnace. You can see there's 12 metal sheets for around there, and then you need another 32. Like, so that's what, 24 ingots, I think, and then you need another 32 ingots just for the blast furnace. Another crucible, bellows. So yeah, I was finding it was much easier to heat up loads of iron at once, like with 3 forges instead of 1, and then quickly hammer it away on the anvil. And I quickly did a little bit of science and experimented and figured out the right way. I was actually expecting TFC to be so hard that the number of punches and hammers and hits and draws and so on, all these things, I thought they would change ever so slightly, so it's not the same thing each time. Like this mini game, red moves the green bar left, and green ones move them right to different amounts. So that's a light, medium, heavy, extra heavy kind of hit. And then for whatever you want to do, the red thing moves like there, and you've got to move the green bar and get it to the red one. And this thing tells you what the last 3 actions have to be, like whether they have to be hammers or punches or whatever. And I was expecting that to change each time, so you'd have to do the mini game each, like for each ingot or whatever you wanted to do. But fortunately, not the case. So once you've experimented a bit and figured out the right method, you can see actually I wrote them all down in my book. Once you've figured them out, and then once you learn those, you can do them quite quickly. And thus it was much better to use multiple forges, but just 1 anvil. So you can see here, for a refined bloom to raw iron, it's 6 shrinks, 1 punch, and then a large hit and 2 medium hits, although they could be in another order. Locations of different ores, and then raw bloom to refined bloom, and splitting a refined bloom. I think one thing that would be good is if, for each player, and changing from world to world, I'm starving. Yeah, for each player, I think it would be good to change it. So you can't just Google it and look it up. You've got to figure it out for your character, your player. So there we go, chomping on a pickled onion, having a jug of water, and I shall bid you adieu. Thanks very much for watching. If you have any advice or feedback, or you just want to say hey, or you want to say hey, you're an idiot because you did this and you should have done that, I'll be most interested to read it or hear it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.